Good morning. Today's one of those days that even though it's 4:44, I don't feel like I'm ready to go. That might be in line with my topic for today. 2012, trust the process. Yes, I'm like many people in our Western culture. I'd like it right now. It's frustrating that some things, especially the things that we seem to want the most, seem to take so long to manifest in our lives. I keep being reminded that it is a process, and even though we are at the end of a very long process of evolution of consciousness, it still takes time to unfold the awakening so that as many as possible can get it. I get the message. Trust the process. For those of you that listen regularly, you know that there are days that I feel very much frustration, especially when I try to build bridges and I try to teach people that we're all interconnected. I try to get the message out that we have to embrace the paradox, things that I have been saying again and again and again for so much of my lifetime. And so often it seems like people that I feel should be getting it aren't getting it. And as I laid in bed this morning pondering the dream in which I was in a classroom, and it seemed like I was in the classroom just observing this other person teaching and setting the stage for this event and the next event that he was presenting. And I'm thinking, what am I doing here? I'm watching somebody else do all this work. And then I got a chance just before I woke up to actually sit down and start talking with it was a young man. I don't know who he was, but he said, "Yeah, it's just a process, and you got to take it step by step." And that's what I was observing in the dream. That he had to finish one step before he started the next. And I sometimes forget that. I want to jump, and I know I'm not the only one that would like to jump from where we are to where we see ourselves going. And I know I'm not the only one that feels the frustration, not only of people not getting it quickly enough, but of the help that we know is with us not coming to us fast enough. And so we get to re-explore again and again. At least I do. Maybe some of you can get it more quickly than I can. But it seems like I'm being forced back to explore some of the same lessons that I thought I learned. And I get to go back over them again and again and again until it becomes part of me. I guess that's the intent, to really drive it home that this whole thing is a divine drama that's being played out on Earth in this experiment called human life, which I don't believe is just on Earth. I believe our ET brothers and sisters, some of them are more advanced than we are, and I'll bet you if we could see the whole picture, we'd see that there are people behind us that haven't even gotten as far in this process as we've gotten. I don't know. I mean, it's speculation. There's no way that I can prove anything of the past or the future. And even though I like to play with it, I realize how useless it is to keep trying to make things fit into my box. I'm being forced out of my box, out of my mind, to be in the now, but in the now to recognize that there is an unfolding that's going on. And that seems to be a contradiction that's hard for me and others to get. It's all happening now, and yet it's unfolding step by step by step. And we're watching it unfold. For those of you that were in the Facebook thread of yesterday's video, you may have taken time to read the dialogue between my cousin Jackie and myself. She took a totally different perspective of the Republic and the whole movement. And she thought I was going to push her away and stop communicating with her. And as I wrote, that's just not my method. I remember in 1982 when my sister pushed me away in her life. And even though there was one apparent attempt on behalf of my mother, our mother, that reconciled the situation for an hour or two, she went right back after that into the mold of rejection. And for a number of years, I sent birthday cards and Christmas cards, and I would send little greetings and messages of love. And then one of my other sisters told me, Ron, stop sending her cards. When she sees they're from you, she throws them away unopened. I'm not one, have not been one over the course of my life to shut people off. I've tried to be a bridge builder all of my life. And yesterday, and the day before yesterday especially, I was really feeling frustrated, as I expressed in the video yesterday. I was really feeling frustrated and a failure. And yet I was reminded by many people, Ron, you're not a failure. You're helping people open their hearts, and it's a process. Trust the process. I read so many things and I interact with so many people. And I'm a Libra. I try to find balance in the whole thing. I'm a 9. A 9 is on the Enneagram, and a 9 sees themselves in everyone else, or sees everyone else as being a part of themselves. When they look at their own life and they read what the characteristics of a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, all the way up to a 9, they read the characteristics of each level in the Enneagram, each of the 9 levels. And they read number 1 and they say, yeah, that's me. And then they read number 2 and they say, well, yeah, I can see where I'm like that. And the same process, they go all the way through it. And every one of them, all 8 of them, they say, well, yeah, I have those characteristics. That's how I am. They see themselves, not a 9, that's the characteristic of a 9. They see themselves in everything. And they try to make peace. A Libra is a peacemaker. Relationships are important. That's why I've tried to build relationships, and I have failed in building some of the most important relationships and some of the most important bridges. But have I failed? Have I failed, or have I planted seeds? Spirit and many people were reminding me, Ron, you're not failing. You're waking people up. People are listening. People are paying attention. And so I have to sit back, take a step back and look at myself and say, yeah, it is unfolding. It is coming together. I don't see things happening as quickly as I'd like. But if I'm patient and if I look carefully and closely, I can see these things happening. So I don't know where you are this morning in your process. I think I'm not going to make a very long video today. I think it's going to be shorter than normal. And that's okay. I didn't feel ready when I started, but I'm feeling complete now that I'm at this point. I want to encourage you, to encourage everyone. Trust the process. It is unfolding. Whether it seems like things are coming together the way you'd like them, or I'd like them, or as fast as we'd like it to happen, know that it is happening. And there are plenty of indications that many people are working together for the same thing, even if they're doing it in different ways. I have to remind myself, and I remind you. I send you love this morning, and I thank you once again for tuning in, even though I felt ill-prepared at the beginning. And I still feel that I was ill-prepared. And it's okay. Namaste.